Back to BLACKSITE tonight. We're going to talk about the USC Trojans defeating Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes 48-41. The Buffaloes did respond after that humiliating loss to the Oregon Ducks. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. The Colorado Buffaloes were truly humiliated last week by Dan landing in the Oregon Ducks 42-6. And I asked the question, simple question, would they bounce back? Would they respond? Today they responded with heart and lost to the Trojans at home 48-41. Here's a team that fell behind 34-14 at halftime and responded with a 27-14 second half run in which they lost in the end to the Trojans. The Trojans are 8th in the country, led by the Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams, who had a fantastic day, throwing for 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 400 yards. But Shedeur Sanders came out in the second half and proved that he is an NFL quarterback by fighting and bringing his team back close to get within 7 points within less than 2 minutes left in the game. And what I was talking about was responding and bouncing back. Is if Deion had full control of this team, did Deion have the pulse of his team that he could get them wound up to play one of the best teams in the country with the best player in the country and have them look a hell of a lot better than they looked last week? And he did. We all know that Colorado is not as talented as USC, as Oregon, because this is his first year there. But baby, by next year, when he gets more recruits, more transfers to his University of Colorado, he will be able to compete with those schools, especially when he moves to the Big 12 next year. But the response of his team after falling down 34-14, they could have quit. They could have lost 60-14. But that team came out in the second half and fought back. They fought back hard, and they gave the fans something to believe in. See, a lot of times when you have a University at Colorado who won a national championship back in 1990, they are looking for hope. And a lot of people don't believe in hope, but they're looking for hope that eventually we'll be back to the top again. And when you see a game like this, when you see a team is being outplayed badly at halftime, you want to see that team fight. And when you see your team fight, even though you walk out of that stadium as a loser, you know that better days are here to come. And that's what Deion Sanders is preaching. He said, truly, he said, this is the worst I'm going to get. After this, we going to be pretty damn good. And he might be right. Because once he gets Travis back, once he gets some of them high recruits that's coming in next year, once he gets some of those transfers, oh, they're going to be tough. And if Shedeur stays for his senior season, this team is going to be ranked in at least the top 15 in the country. So they should not be ashamed of how they played today. SC was the better team. Everybody knew it. They were 20-something points favorites over this team. But this team showed what we would call heart, the beginning of something new, because everybody has to start somewhere. And it seems like Colorado is starting and moving in the right direction. See, a lot of times wins tells you a lot of things, but sometimes losses can tell you the progress that your team is making. This hurts, but it should hurt, because what happens is that when it hurts, you get to set the tone for your team. You don't like this taste. That's what Deion is telling them. Well, you can change it by the way you play, by the way you practice, by the way you study. And this is what Deion is constantly doing. He's working on them mentally, psychology, and saying, now you understand what it takes to get to that next level. You got to be consistent, you got to be well trained, and you have to be extremely disciplined. In every game in college football is a mini playoff because basically you get to lose one game and maybe you can make it to the college football playoff until they expand it to 12 teams. So today was something I wanted to see. I didn't think they would beat SC, but what I wanted to see is they would respond, bounce back, and play tough and not give up. And they didn't do any of those things, and that should be credit to their head coach and the coaching staff of having them come out after halftime and give it their all. Because there's a lot of teams out there, once they get behind, especially a USC, which is one of the most high-powered offenses in the country, they tend to go into the tank. But this team didn't. This team came out, they fought, and they showed that in the future, we are going to be an excellent program. And one thing I say about this, one thing Deion is going to do, he's going to work on that defense because that defense is not very good. And you need talented players on that defensive line. You need talented players on that back end. They had Travis, Cromartie, the kid that don't want to practice, the kid that don't want to go to class. He was supposed to be on the other side. And they got new players coming in, so that defense should get better in the Big 12, which is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. It's going to get better next year, and they're going to get better. My thing was I thought they would win 6 games. They would possibly go 6-6, go to a bowl, maybe be 7-6, or something of that nature. That's what I had Colorado being this year. So we have to give prime credit for responding today because a lot of people didn't feel this team would respond, that this team would play this well, especially in the second half, and give them a small opportunity to come back and tie or even win this game. This is what football is all about, and this is what these young men are learning during the process of becoming a good football team. I want to thank you for listening to BLACKSITE. Hope you subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, but also share this video. And I hope you leave a comment in the comment section.